Welcome to the Creation Station. This is a impromptu review. We'll be talking about the new movie, Free Guy. My wife and I just went this weekend to go watch it, and so I'm going to talk about it. Quick, small review, no spoilers. So did we enjoy the movie overall? Yes, we enjoyed the movie. I'd recommend anybody to go watch it who likes watching movies. It is probably the first original movie we've had in theaters in a good while. Can't really think of the last one. It's not a remake. It's not a reboot. It's not a sequel. It's a brand new story. So very original, yes. Which is great. So what's it about? Well, as I said, we're not going into details. And general synopsis, it's about these two, I guess they probably were college kids. They had created this AI program and a game that was built around it, a world that was built around it. And they went to go publish it, and they pretty much had the game stolen and quite a bit changed from the original vision for it. And that's where our story starts off. It's basically falls in the genre of a action adventure comedy, but there's also other aspects to it. There's a romance that happens throughout the story, but it's not really a romance. And like, the movie doesn't really fall into any particular genre. You could definitely say science fiction type, but it doesn't fall into any particular genre. It could be seen as different ones. And I particularly like this type of thing because I've heard other people complain about different TV shows, movies, or whatever. It's like, oh, it doesn't know what it wants to be. And they're usually referring to the genre of the particular media. And I don't see that is a bad thing, because it's more reflective of the real world. You know, this is a story. It encompasses more than just this little niche. You know, your life, what happens at work, reflects what happens at home, and you know, your more public life and your private life and everything else. And I think that's this type of storytelling that doesn't like fall into a particular niche all the time works. I mean, there is a general science fiction niche to it, but you know, it's comedy, it's action, it's adventure. There's romance involved, everything else, and it makes for a bigger, better story. Now, it can be done wrong where it's not meshed very well, but this movie did it fine, and a lot of media that I find this happening usually is fine. So if there's one thing I could say wrong with the movie, that's not too spoilerific, because there's a couple little tiny things that I could nitpick on, but it actually would give certain things away. Well, I mean, they're not major points, but yeah, wouldn't be well. It would be the movie doesn't have a particular theme, like, and it doesn't feel like a bad thing. Like, it wasn't like unfocused or didn't know what it wanted to say. It just said kind of more multiple things. Like, well, obviously, just from the synopsis, you have this, oh, big corporation bad taking over somebody's video game. Big corporation bad. You got, that theme. There's also a theme kind of where there's, you know, some days you need to do something different. You can't just go day to day doing the same thing, day in, day out, and yeah, there's that type of theme. I mean, they could almost say that there's a love conquers all theme somewhere in there. Though it's that maybe definitely was not too evident until you get, yeah, wasn't quite that evident. But yeah, there's multiple themes, but I don't think it makes it. It just makes it that different people can take different things away from the movie, and there's nothing wrong with that because that actually makes it more enjoyable to more people, rather than this person saying, "Oh, it was boring. I didn't get anything out of it. Wasn't interested." But meanwhile, you know, this person did. But here, this movie, you can have multiple people go in and watch it, but be interested in it for different reasons, and go home, saying that was a great movie. I got this out of it, or I got this out of it. Made me think about this, or whatever. So yeah, it's a different movie, and it's good because it's something new we haven't had in a while. A new movie. Fortunately, the state of Hollywood is they're worried about making money and they're afraid of taking any risks. And I mean, I don't think this movie is gonna bomb. We have COVID going on. If this hadn't been with the pandemic and stuff, well, it probably would have done fairly well. All depending on marketing. I mean, it's been fairly well marketed. I think. I don't know, Disney did or the people involved did it because. Yeah, that's a debate my wife and I were having. Anyways, so yeah, it's a good movie, and by all means, if you can go to the theater and watch it, please do, and go to the theaters. If you don't watch this movie, watch some other movie that you're interested in. I mean, they have the stuff on home video now. You can watch this kind of simul cast thing with what's going on in the theater, and I mean, it's great for those that can't get out, or don't feel safe going out, or aren't safe going out. But the theaters are hurting. They're recovering slowly, but if Hollywood keeps going towards the releases, they're going to be done for, and that's a shame because they're a tradition. And to be honest, if it wasn't for theaters, because theaters were around, before motion pictures were around. They had plays, operas, and stuff like that, and I'm sure those type of theaters are still going to be around. But the movies and stuff, Hollywood, if it wasn't for the theaters, we would never have had Hollywood. And now Hollywood partially wants to turn their back on them. I mean, they've been, even before COVID, there was some, they've been at each other because Hollywood wants more money and such, which unfortunately that's probably Hollywood's biggest problem is its greed. I mean, that's why we get movies that are just repeats, remakes, sequels. We don't get new stuff because they're afraid to take the chance. They're afraid to take the chance. They might lose a bit of money. Although I think a lot of times they still are losing money on a lot of these sequels, prequels, doubles, sequels, rather than just make something new. So yeah, I think that's about it. Go watch the movie if you can. It's a good all-around movie. It's not a family movie. You take your older, teenagers. I believe PG or PG-13. Yeah, so go watch it. You'll probably enjoy it. Probably take something from it. It's really fun. It's a fun, entertaining movie. I mean, there's nothing too deep about it. I mean, I talk about, you know, themes and whatnot, but really, it's just a fun movie. Go watch it. Enjoy the theaters. Enjoy that experience if you can. Yeah. So that's it for me here at the Creation Station. These are just going to be quick, no scripted, nothing. Me talking, probably edited some. So, have a good day. Remember, creativity is key.